If you're having a hard time following the instructions for installing your Pella sliding door screen, and you're having trouble with the terminology, you're not alone. According to the instructions, an OX door slides from the left, like this one. An XO door slides from the right. This is the top track. You can tell because it has a wood type finish on one side. The bottom track is all dark brown. The top track goes here with the 3 screw holes facing the top. Make sure it lines up with the strike where the screen door will latch. Make sure your top track, this piece here, is flush against this piece, which is called the lock jamb. Take a pencil and make a mark through each of the 3 holes where the screws will go. Now where your marks are, drill pilot holes a 1/4 inch deep with a 1/16 of an inch bit. Now secure the top track with 3 number 6 5/8 of an inch screws. This critter is called the mounting bracket. Place it flat side up next to the top track. It should be tight against the corner of the wood, and the plastic tab should be flush against the top track. Mark holes for the screws. After the holes are marked, cut off the plastic tabs with a pair of diagonal cutting pliers. Where you've made your marks, drill 1/4 inch pilot holes with a 1/16 of an inch bit. Oops, I'm a little off on that one. Secure the mounting bracket with 2 number 6 5/8 of an inch screws. And here's how it should look next to the top track. The bottom track is all brown and it has 3 screw holes. The bottom track goes like so, with the metal lip facing toward you. Here's an end view. The metal lip faces toward you, and this side faces toward the window. Make sure it lines up with the strike jamb and striker plate where your slider will latch. Place the 3 plastic wedges in the door sill groove so they are lined up next to each of the 3 screw holes in the bottom track. So we will put one here, and another one right here, and the last one here. Push the plastic wedges firmly in place. The directions say the tops of the wedges should be flush with the lower level of the inner sill. The strip of brush on the other side makes it difficult to mark the holes for the screws and to see where to put the screws. So to make it simpler for yourself, make a little mark on the middle. There's where the screw goes, and there's a little mark on the middle. Or you can stick a pencil or some other object through the hole and then mark your spot with a piece of masking tape. Your marks on the metal or the little strips of masking tape will help you find the holes where you will insert the number 6 5/8" screws. Once the bottom track is screwed in, you can remove your masking tape. This piece is called the tensioner. You'll want to put the plastic tabs into the door sill groove and slide it up right next to the bottom track. Here's how it should look next to the bottom track. You attach it with two number 6 1-inch screws with brown heads. Since there was a space between our tensioner and the floor, we added a shim for extra support. You'll have 5 cover clips, and they will have a small lip, which is here. These little lips will go in the groove on the center column of your sliding door. The first one goes 2 inches down from the top. Make a mark for the screw. The pilot hole should be a 1/4 inch deep and should be drilled with a 1/16 inch bit. Screw the cover clip in place with the provided number 6 5/8" screw. The next one goes 2 inches up from the bottom. Be sure to get that little lip in the groove. Space the other cover clips evenly between the top and bottom cover clips. Mark and drill the pilot holes and screw them in. This is called the head plug, and this is what it looks like. It will slide into the top track. Slide the head plug into the top track with the notch facing into the track. This is called the sill plug. Slide it into the bottom track, notch first. Hope you didn't throw away this piece. It's called the dampener, and it goes into the mounting bracket like so. And these plastic clips will clip it in, and the screen will rotate around this point. This is the bottom of your roll of screen, and it will go into the tensioner. This is the top of your roll of screen. This will fit into the dampener like so. Watch closely. Position the bottom of your roll of screen in the tensioner. Make sure it engages in the tensioner. Place your dampener into the top of the roll of screen and then slide the dampener into your mounting bracket and make sure it clips into place. Remember, it's going to fit like this. It can be a little tricky. The control bar is this big long wooden piece attached to your screen. Tilt it and angle it in until you can fit it into the sill plug in the bottom track. Carefully take the screen at the top and coax it through the brushy part of the top track, and then carefully angle your control bar and slide it into the head plug. Then take your hand and roll the screen back onto the roller slowly as you bring the control bar back. To adjust the tension in the screen, take a flat blade screwdriver and place it in the slot in the tensioner. Turn it toward the plus sign. The instructions say about 12 times, but we found we had to turn it quite a few more turns to adjust the tension correctly. The control bar, that long wooden piece attached to your screen, should come up next to the roll of screen. You can always adjust the tension more later if need be. This is an end view of the screen cover. The roll of screen will sit in here and will roll out this way. Take the rubber bumper pads and stick them at the top and the bottom of the screen cover along the shorter sides. Here's how the cover is placed over the roll of screen. Position the bottom. Position and push the cover toward the door, making sure the cover snaps over the cover clips, as well as onto the mounting bracket at the top and the tensioner at the bottom. All 5 cover clips should be beneath the screen cover. Make sure the screen glides in the top track and the bottom track. And there's one of the rubber bumper pads you placed on your screen cover. It protects the screen cover from the control bar when the screen retracts. They also throw in this filler strip just in case. We didn't need it. Our strike plate is missing a little plastic piece called the lock catch, which I show you how to make in another video. Make sure the strike plate and the lock catch line up. If they don't line up, you can loosen this screw and slide the strike plate up or down as needed. Your sliding door screen should be ready to roll.